Test. Test. Okay, you guys can hear some annoying sirens behind me, I presume. Sorry about all of the technical issues. Periscope is easy to use, and Facebook Live is easy to use, but YouTube is still extremely difficult for me to use when it comes to the live stream. But anyway, here I am, and I'm going to grab the book because I want to make sure I could answer all your questions. You can see that I'm shooting into light and I have this annoying cut off on the sides. I'm well aware of that. It's a work in progress. I'm going to get this YouTube live thing working eventually. Let me see now. Hi to Japan. Hi everybody. And I hope you're all doing well. The purpose of this live video is to make sure you guys are well aware of the language hacking series that I'm going to be talking about because it's actually published today. So I'm very, very pleased. It's published in the US and Canada. It's been out in Europe for a couple of weeks. But I want to make sure if you happen to be in the US or Canada, definitely ask me any questions about this if you want to see if it's something you'd like to check out yourselves. So I'm so excited because this has been a long year of working extremely hard to publish 4 of these books. I appreciate your congrats, Drukningshjell, or Drukningshjell, if I got that right. And hi to Kendra, and hi to everyone in Russia and Japan. I'm glad you can all hear me. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I could answer your questions about these courses and to make sure I could answer your questions about language learning in general, of course. Let's see, can I pull that curtain? I know I'm shooting into the light. Sorry about this low quality. I will be doing a Facebook Live a little bit later in the day, and I think it's probably going to be a bit better quality than this. But I know the timing doesn't work for some people for later, so I want to make sure I've got you what I can. All right, Jonathan. Jonathan's helping me out by getting a big bunch of books. I really appreciate that, Jonathan. It is on Amazon. I think you should see a little eye in the top right of this video. Click that eye and you'll be sent to a page that gives you all the links to how to get the books. Okay. Drunking Shell tells me the name, the translation of his name. That's funny. Bo asked me, do I still sell the t-shirts with the multiple scripts? Yes, that was a fun project where I made a t-shirt that you could write any script you like on the back, asking any question or asking people to speak to you in that language. I think it's fluent3months.com/t-shirt, like t-shirt or t-shirts. Otherwise, just search for Fluent in 3 Months t-shirt. It'll come up for sure. Hola, Omar Andres Salcedo Oliva. I love how long Spanish names are. They're always a mouthful in a good way. So very good to meet you guys. And Shannon, Eurolinguist. Shannon's been a great help the last couple of weeks, giving us lots of language encouragement to people who have been coming in because I've been a little busy, as you can imagine. So, Kelly's coming in the mail. Which one's coming in the mail, Kelly? Which one of the languages? When it does come, I want you to tweet me and Facebook me, tell me all about it. And if any of you guys have the language hacking book already, please go on Amazon and write a review if you've already gotten a chance to use it. I really appreciate it. The review encourages other people to check it out. And the Spanish one Kelly's got. That's great. So yeah, people, I really, really want to give these books a big push today, especially the Spanish one. If you look on the Amazon US page, Language Hacking Spanish, please share that link on Facebook I say Spanish specifically because in America, more people are likely to learn Spanish, so they're more likely to share that version. And if I can push it up to potentially be in the top 10 of the subcategory on Amazon today, and that'll get a great exposure. And the reason is because then if we sell a lot of the books initially, we'll have people interested in getting us to publish lots of other ones like language hacking English, language hacking Chinese, language hacking Irish, and all the other languages we'll get to. But first we have to prove ourselves. So please help me by sharing this book with your friends today. Definitely by sharing your reviews. All right, let's see what you've been saying. What are the most likely candidates for the next languages to be published? The ones that I just said. Hola desde Mexico. Hola desde Nueva York. I think you guys say New York in Mexico though for it. It's Nueva York in Spain. I'm glad that you've been using my books in your lessons, Jonathan. That's excellent. Hi from Belarus. Wow, you guys are coming from all over. That's great. Using your skills. I'm sorry if you guys can't see me. You've probably got like a horrible view of my neck. I'm trying to see the TV over here. I know this video's really bad quality. I pride myself in good quality videos on these on my YouTube channel, but I can't really do that with YouTube Live yet. I'm gonna get on top of that though. Fluency, I can't cover that today. That's too deep a concept. I talk about that in a bunch of interviews and videos I've done. Have I considered learning Ukrainian? No, not yet. If I go to the Ukraine someday, I definitely would learn it. That's kind of what dictates when I want to learn a language. And oh, we got a hello from Israel. Very nice to meet you, sir. And Sweden. And Manuel tells me it's Nueve Yor. Is it really? Oh, and oh, you mean the like you would write it with the K, but you don't pronounce the K. See, I didn't know that. All these years, I've been saying Nueva York, so that's wrong. It's Nueva York. Is that right? See, you learn something new. I should know that. It's the city I live in. It has a silent K. Fascinating. Anyway, close the curtain. Oh, let me see if I can do that. Not sure if that'll help. Kind of tricky back here. Okay, what dialect of Arabic is most useful to learn? Depends on where you're going. I went to Egypt, so that happened to be the one I needed to learn. Let's see. Can I find your books in Sweden? I believe so if you go to an English-speaking bookshop. If not, you can ask them to order them in because they're available internationally. Okay, let's see, from Wales, releasing a Welsh course. So I don't personally speak Welsh, but what I'll be planning to do is work with people for many languages that I don't speak to potentially reach languages like Welsh and to have these courses in the bigger languages translated to help immigrant communities. So that's going to be something I'll be working with other people for languages I'm not familiar with. So Welsh could be in the mix, especially if Irish does well, because I'll be doing Irish first. Okay. Which language would I recommend other than Spanish? It depends on you. I can't tell you what language to learn. If you've got some kind of a connection to a culture, that's what you want to do. You want to see if you know people who might want to talk to you in that language or you're inspired by the culture and so on. How did I learn French? I learned French the same way I learned other languages. I just had the speak from day one approach. It's kind of a broad question to answer. I'll be doing more of these later in the day. If I don't answer your question now, please do come back and I'll help you with that later. Okay, do you think this book is a good supplement coupled with FI3 and Premium? Premium, so I was wondering how they differ. Premium is a list of the best resources on the internet to help you learn a language. These books are courses. They're courses in specific languages. So that's a very broad difference. Can't really get into the details of that, but I hope that generally makes sense. Okay. Do you speak Thai? Pasatay ni oy. I'm not very good at Thai. I kind of crammed it for an afternoon when I was in Bangkok, so I didn't get to that one. What can I do when I understand video on YouTube, but I don't understand the series and movies? What kind of videos do you understand on YouTube where you wouldn't understand a series or a movie? If it's about people who are speaking together, I would imagine it's the same in series and in movies. But I actually covered this question in the live Q&A I just did on Periscope. I advised them to start by listening to lower level speakers or like teachers who speak to you patiently. And I get that very well from podcasts. So start with a podcast series made for language learners and then push the level up in difficulty. I find that helps a lot. Um, okay, we got more questions that are not quite directly related. How many languages do I know? Always depends on how you define know. At the moment, I would say like 10 or 11, which would be at least A2 level. And then there's still like loads of languages that I've dabbled in that I would not say I'd know because I would have forgotten the like constant use of it, you know. Do you recommend learning Tokipona? Have you experience with it? I would like to learn Tokipona, but I've not had any experience with it yet. That is on my list of to-dos. That is actually a language I do plan to learn for fun. I'd probably learn it before one of the polyglot gatherings when I know I'd be more likely to find people who I can speak with. All right. What mobile desktops do you use and why? I use the Samsung Note 7, which has an extra feature of exploding if you wanted to. But I'm actually replacing that today with one that doesn't explode. I use an Alienware Area 51 computer, so I can process. You guys hear that? That's New York for you. So I can process the very large 4K YouTube videos, and I use a Google Pixel C as my main tablet. This sound every day, all day long. I record my videos normally in the YouTube space where it's nice and quiet. All right, I think that answers that question. Yeah, answering vlogs is good. Czy pan mówi po polsku? Nie. Sorry about that. I did dabble in Polish. I've got a video on my channel where I did like an hour of Polish. I never got really further than that. Okay. Which books were published in Japan? They may be someday. We're going to actually work on the translation. So wait for that. You might actually see them in Japanese because that would be one of the first languages we would work on translations. But I'm sure you can get it from Booktopia and other websites that would ship it to Japan. Okay. You find Thai harder to learn to read than... oh, yeah. Thai is not that bad. I wrote a blog post where I said how I learned how to read the Thai alphabet in one afternoon. So Thai has 76 letters. And to give you an example, I use this mnemonic where you have like the sara-a that looks like the hook. So what I did was I stole this idea, I should say, from Stu J. Raj, another YouTube polyglot. So you imagine that like hook of the sara-a and you visualize it as the path that, sorry for the graphic nature of this, the path that someone's pee would take. A guy who's peeing against like a tree. And because of that, because he's peeing, he says, ah. And I guarantee you, you can't unsee that image of this being the ah sound. And so you come up with a quirky mnemonic like that for each of the letters, and you learn them in a whole afternoon. Like, you'll be fine. You'll be able to remember them. That doesn't include the flow of the tones, but it does help you at least pronounce them, which is the first step. So I hope that tip helps. Okay, so let's see. A few questions are rolling by. Books are sitting at number 3, number 6. Oh wow, my books are doing well. That's great. Thank you guys. Definitely keep sharing this. I'll have to check that out after this video. Will I learn Korean? I will when I go to South Korea. I have no plans at the moment to travel there. When I will travel there, because I've never been, I definitely have to go. You will see me talk about learning Korean. Which smartwatch do I have? I have two smartwatches. I have the LG Urbane and that ties in with my Android. And I have the Samsung Galaxy Fit 2 because that came free with my phone. Okay. Many people are in the FI3M team. I have no idea. I don't actually run the FI3M team. I try to focus on my videos and writing and all that. Lauren actually runs the team, so she's essentially like the head of the company. So you'd have to ask her, to be honest. So it's funny that I started Flute in 3 months, but I don't actually know a lot of stuff about it at this stage because I try to focus on what I'm good at, and I'm not really good at running a company, so I get other people to do that. Okay, are you learning a new language? Not yet. No. You're welcome for that I answered that question. Ich kaufte dein Flute in 3 months, aber wie viel Euro sind auf deine Language Hacking Bücher? I think it's about €16. If you go to Amazon, you'll see how much it is. So depends. I know in the US it is £19.99. It says so right here. In the UK, it's £16.99. So maybe it's probably about €20 along those lines, which I think is very fair for a course, an entire course. Okay. Do you read foreign language literature? Yes, I do. I love reading books in other languages. I read a lot in French and Spanish, especially. I read them on my Kindle, and when I don't know a word, I tap it, and I have a built-in dictionary, which is French or Spanish. It's not a Spanish-French it's not a Spanish-English or French-English dictionary, because I don't want a translation. I want a definition of the word. I want to keep in that language. So I do read whenever I can. I have not read a lot the last year because I've been very busy, and I can't wait to get back into reading and reading in other languages too. I don't have a lot of time. How can I improve my German very quickly? I'm going to make a video about this, about time management, because this question comes up a lot. So I can't really answer the question very quickly like I'm trying to do now. Ĉu via edzino ankoraŭ parolas Esperanton? Kaj ĉu vi parolas Esperanton hejme? We don't speak Esperanto these days. She still remembers it, and we're going to reactivate it because I'd really love to bring her to an Esperanto gathering. Maybe next year we'll go to the summer events that take place. We don't speak it at home very often. We do use a little bit of sign language though. So whenever she needs coffee, she does this. This is the American Sign Language for coffee. And whenever I'm thirsty and I ask her if she can get me a water and I'm busy or whatever, I would do this. So we do kind of throw a few other languages around. Okay. Did you ever go to Egypt? Yes, I did go to Egypt. I have videos about it on my YouTube channel. Definitely look around. Loads of stuff on going through that country. Okay, as far as I know, I'm the only person currently teaching Romani on YouTube. Is it worth pursuing writing a book to teach Romani? How hard or easy is it to produce a book? Producing a book's very, very hard. If you are doing it traditionally, like publishing it traditionally, it's very complicated. It's not something you can do to support yourself. So all the books I publish, it's not something I do for like being able to afford to live in places like this. I do it to get the message out to people, but you can self-publish. So if you look into self-publishing books, that's a better way for earning an income, because the publishing industry is very, very complicated. It takes a lot of thinking to work along with that. Okay, hi Benny, been to Scotland? Yes, I did my book tour for Flute in 3 months there. I stayed in Edinburgh for I think like 4 or 5 days. Popped over to Glasgow, had a great time. I probably have some pictures up online about it. Okay, ¿cuáles idiomas puedo aprender con los language hacking cursos? Perdón, mi español no es muy bien. Your Spanish is great, don't worry about it. You can learn Spanish, French, Italian, and German at the moment, and we have more coming out. So if you guys want me to write more of these books, I need your help. So please share the link to Amazon to, especially the Spanish book, since more people will be getting that one. Please share that on your Facebook page. Send me a picture of you with the book if you already have it. please do that, and I'll be able to write more books. But at the moment, we've got Spanish, French, German, and Italian. Okay. How did you find? Okay, sorry if I'm missing your questions. I'm only going to be around for a few more minutes. 10 minutes to compensate the fact that I started this very late. But if I didn't get to your question, in less than 3 hours, I should say that I will be doing Facebook Live. So go to the Facebook page and you'll see that that option come up. So just in case I don't get to your questions today, and sorry about that, everyone. Okay. Let's see. Onde você está morando? Tô morando in Nova York. And I think I got that one. I think in Portuguese, you guys do say the K, even if you don't in Spanish. Okay. Have you ever been to Indiana? Yes, I had a signing in Indianapolis, I think. And then another time, just before I met Moses, which you guys would have seen the video on, I had a bus go through Indianapolis. So yeah, I've been there. It's great. Lots of very big fields. You guys have plenty of fields there. Okay. Yeah, Jonathan's been supporting me a lot. I really do appreciate that, Jonathan. I'm glad Alan is confirming that. Okay. Yes, I can speak Portuguese. Will your 360 videos be coming out? Very, very soon. I've been very busy with everything, but I've been working with someone who can help me edit my videos quicker. So you're going to see my 360 videos very, very soon. I'm excited about that. Shannon says, what's your advice for someone looking to break past the intermediate plateau and get to a more advanced level in a language? For that, I would always tell people I follow mock exams for the CEFLR courses. So I would, I don't know, with French, for instance, I'd go to the Alliance Française website and I would download a C1 exam or a C2 exam that they use to help people learn. And I would work on that with a teacher on italki and do the exercises and really push myself. That's how I've gotten into the C levels in my languages, is very structured, working one-on-one with somebody, ideally someone experienced with those higher level languages. Yeah, so hope that helps. Will you write a book on how to learn Mandarin? Yeah, like I said, if you guys help me share this, help me get this up in the charts today so it gets on people's radars, then the course will be able to continue, and I will definitely be doing a language hacking Chinese or language hacking Mandarin, since it's going to be a conversation course, not a written course. So definitely yes, if you guys help me. All right. Okay, would you recommend reading Fluent in 3 months before reading one of your language hacking books? Repeating the question. Sorry if I missed that question. I would recommend, it depends on what you want to do. So Fluent in 3 months, that is my book about my language learning strategy. So if you want to know about my language learning strategy in general for learning any language, that's what that book is. If you already know you want to learn Spanish, French, German, or Italian, I would start with these books instead of getting Fluent in 3 months, because this is specific to these books. Okay, these don't go into my learning method as much because they're genuinely teaching you the language. So that's what I would say. If you want to know about my method, that's what my other book is about. If you want to get help learning these specific languages, then you should get these books first. Okay, all right. Let's see. Questions are getting. I'm sorry, I'm missing so many questions. Benny, this video is recording automatically. I'm not even able to tell you how complicated uploading a live YouTube video currently is. I can't wait till they update their app so I can just grab my smartphone and press live record. I had to do encoding and a billion other things, and as you can see, I'm getting cut off on the edges. It's crazy. That won't be an issue next time, though. All right. Do you speak Punjabi? No, that's part of the 5,000 languages I do not speak. I'm sorry about that. Everyone's very supportive in the FI3M community. I know I am very much overwhelmed sometimes when I see how friendly people in this community are and how supportive they are of each other. So I'm really glad that you get to see that in action. It's fantastic. And yeah, definitely share your videos. Another great thing about these courses is we tie them in with italki. I'm not sure if you can see italki just written on the back here. And that means that as you're going through the course, you have a supportive community that helps you. That will help you to get through the language, and you can upload videos and they'll offer their support. You can ask your questions. So this isn't about just the book, it's about tying it in with that online community, because we really want to get you speaking. So yeah, a lot of that community kind of spills over into the italki one. Okay, yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the recommendations. Okay, Jesus asked me, kannst du Schweizerdeutsch sprechen? Fun question to get from Honduras. I can understand Swiss German. I've met several Swiss Germans. I actually find because I still don't get the German R perfectly. I'm like, I can get it pretty good, but I don't get it like perfect. I'm not a native speaker when I use it. But the Swiss R is a little bit easier. So I actually like the idea of someday maybe trying to learn Swiss German, especially for the accent. So yeah, that answers that question. Sean, I'm very happy to see you here. And I'm glad Alan confirms that the courses can bring people together. They definitely can. Like I said, it's all about a nice big community. Benny, will you do a new project like the Skype Me Maybe videos? Yes, I will definitely be doing that. I wanted to get a start on that actually this month, but because I'm so busy with these books, I didn't manage to like plan it out. But essentially, one really cool thing is that YouTube give me professional studios where I can record, and I can do that all over the world. And so obviously better than the quality you guys are seeing here, as I get like, professional videos and green screens and all that. And when I was in London, I got to do a great collab video with Ollie from I Will Teach You Language, and Lindsay from Lindsay Does Languages. So those videos are going to be up on my channel very soon, and I'm so glad we got to do it. And we threw something together at the last minute, and it's going to be excellent stuff. But initially, my plan was to, ahead of time, decide what the big project was going to be and work with those guys, and then go to YouTube Berlin, because they have space there, go to the YouTube space in Paris, go to the YouTube space in Toronto and in LA, and actually meet these polyglots in person and bring them together. So this is going to be a very big project. I'm probably going to have to get into it next year. I can't wait to do that. I'd love to hear you guys' suggestions for the kind of things that I could record, because I would get to invite these polyglots and put them in the center of the stage, rather than like it's Skype Me Maybe. I just ask them to email me their footage. So that's going to be a big exciting project that I'll get into next year. But I'm gonna have to think about it, because just another music video, I think like we could do that, but I want to like really think about it, make it something exciting. All right, so can you show us what a lesson or a chapter looks like? This camera quality is very bad, and I'm sorry I'm shooting into the light, but zooming in here, you can see a little bit about the book. If you go on the Amazon page, yeah, the quality's not that great here. Sorry, it's probably very hard to read. But if you go on the Amazon page, you can see a sample of 2 pages of the book, and it won't be fuzzy and bright like the one that he just saw there. And otherwise, if you go to languagehacking.com and put your email in there, we will email you the several pages of the first chapter. So we'll actually email you a PDF, and you're welcome to check that PDF out and see what you think about it. So yeah, definitely that's another option if you want to really get a good look inside the pages. Have you ever been in Galicia? I've not, but I did meet Galicians, and they taught me a little bit of the language, which of course Portuguese helped with. And I just found it so fascinating. I would love to actually learn that someday. So that's on my maybe list for potential places to maybe go on a holiday and have a little project about. Okay, so let's see. How's your Portuguese going? I'd like to reactivate it with other Brazilian speakers here in New York. It's still one of my better languages though, so I just need to get into practicing it in complex situations. I'd like to go beyond conversational and like really talk in depth, so that's going to be a future project. How would you advise a language learner who doesn't want to speak to a native? I would say it's okay to not want to speak to a native because I learned a lot of my Spanish with Erasmus students, and they're non-native speakers. These are French, Italians, Germans. You can learn a lot from fellow learners. It's one of the reasons why the community that we've incorporated with these language hacking books, it's why that is very much a community of other learners that you can learn with. So it's not just about getting the native speakers, it's also about getting help with other learners. So definitely it's okay to learn with non-natives, but maybe still learn with people. Don't make it about studying. If you find it intimidating speaking to a native who might speak very quickly, then another learner like yourself will speak slowly and they'll be patient and they'll use simpler words. I think especially for languages where you can't find other speakers as easily, I think it's actually better sometimes to learn with other learners. So definitely give that a try. All right. What language do you think is the hardest? I always tell people the hardest language I learned was Spanish because that was the first one. You'll see me talk about that in detail. A lot of like talks and YouTube videos I've given. How long would it take to get to native fluency with the speak from day one approach? Very good question, Tom. I do try to make this very clear to people that the speak from day one approach is the approach that we talk about in these books is a great way to get started speaking a language, to start truly interacting with people and making friends. I highly recommend that that's the first thing people do. But I also believe in dynamic learning. So that's where you do not have one approach that takes you all the way to the supposed end. So I actually think speak from day one is not a good language learning approach from the intermediate stage on, because more practice of conversation isn't really going to help you at that stage. So I change my approach, completely change it when I get to the intermediate stage. I do a lot more traditional things. I do grammar exercises. I get language lessons. I sit exams. All of those things I feel are much more appropriate at the higher levels, but are not appropriate at the lower levels because you don't have any kind of momentum. You don't really feel like you're using the language. So I don't think you would ever reach native level fluency with a speak from day one approach all the way, but maybe a speak from day one approach will be the best approach to get you genuinely speaking the language. And then when you switch to another approach, that would take you further. So, hope that helps. Okay. Why did you forget Catalan? I learned Catalan very, very briefly. I learned it for just a few weeks. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't maintain it after that. I have to have a limit of languages that I actively maintain, because otherwise I'm spreading myself too thin. I do want to reactivate my Catalan someday. Okay. Yeah, it was very nice to chat to you, Kelly. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm glad you've been enjoying all the stuff. And Ninty Bros says, congrats. I've seen your emails. You eventually get around to making these books in other languages. How many languages do you plan to release? I don't know, because what I'll have to do ultimately, of course, is working with other people to release courses in languages I haven't gotten to yet. And when we have that set up and a quick process to work with those people, then the sky's the limit, you know? And I want us to go as far as we can to as many languages as we can. Do I think children can learn 10 languages at once? Um, Maybe a children who got bitten by a radioactive spider, or a child who has the X gene, like from the X-Men, or a child who um, is from another planet in general, you know, that kind of thing. But normally, 10 languages at once, no. I don't think anyone can learn 10 languages at once. I think you can speak 10 languages if you do it sequentially. You know, child, adult, doesn't make any difference, in my opinion. Okay, Londonderry. Oh, great to see you from Londonderry. Passed through there, Lauren and I. We loved it there. Okay, and taking German. I'm just going to wrap things up in the next couple of minutes, everyone, just to let you know. Are Scottish and Irish mutually intelligible? Yes, they are. I remember when we drove through Scotland, I turned on the radio, I could understand what they were saying when they were speaking Scottish Gaelic. And I've seen on the British passport they have some Scottish there, and I can definitely follow along. I would say it's along the same lines as Spanish Portuguese in terms of mutual intelligibility and differences between the languages. But yeah, I would understand them, but they're still definitely two different languages. Okay, but learning Esperanto, but can't speak or write it. I do read okay. Have I ruined my learning by not taking lessons in italki from the beginning? You don't need to use italki necessarily. If especially with Esperanto, I would use Lernu lernu.net. And if you've been learning for a year and a half, I would say how much of that year and a half have you actually spent using the language? Because if you've been learning it for like a half hour a week or something, that's not quite the same as someone who's learning it intensively. So I would try and speak it with somebody. I know you feel like you're not ready. Try and speak. You'll find someone who's going to be very patient with you. Honestly. Okay. How can I break the silence in Skype conversations? What could I talk about? That's why I generally have a paid teacher, because then it's their responsibility to keep the conversation flowing for conversation exchanges, because neither of you have that responsibility technically. It can get awkward sometimes. But if it ever gets awkward with a teacher and there's silent periods, then that's not a very good teacher, to be honest. A good teacher keeps languages flowing and makes it so that you don't have to worry about that you just have to worry about speaking the language, and the teacher will worry about keeping things moving. So I would consider getting a paid teacher for that. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up, everybody. Thanks a lot, Jonathan, for stopping by. Um, okay, this is live Capra. I hope that answers your question. So I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions, everyone. I've been trying, and I'm really sorry about the terrible quality. I'm gonna hopefully, I know YouTube by the end of the year will make an app edition that I could just press a button like I can do in every other live app. But if you missed this, then come check out the Facebook Live. That's going to be in 2 hours and 10 minutes from now if you're watching this live this very second. And that's just going to be a lot easier because I'm going to be sitting somewhere. I'm going to have like a bigger screen. So I look forward to your questions there if I did not get to you here. Otherwise, please help me promote this today. Share this on your Facebook wall. Email a friend. Tell them to check it out. I'm trying to get the Spanish edition higher up in the charts so people can see it and consider getting it. And then it gets that extra exposure today. And then if we really do have a nice number of sales, I can get to making more languages. So please help me. I really do appreciate it, everybody. Thanks to all of you for checking this out. And I'm glad you enjoyed my answers to the questions. I will be doing these, Tom Rynan, I did say your name. I'm glad you subscribed to me, Capra, and I'm really glad you guys enjoyed this despite the video and the problem setting up. I also had problems the first time I did this, but it's all good. I will be doing these live hangouts much more regularly when I've figured out how to do them better quality. But otherwise, you are welcome to the Facebook Live Hangout in just over 2 hours. Go to facebook.com/language hacking. That's my Benny Lewis page that you can follow and talk to me like separate to the Fluent in 3 Months page. And Alan knows everyone here. It's a very strong community, isn't it, Alan? I'm really glad. Great job, everyone. So nice to meet everyone directly. I'm really happy, and I'm sorry I haven't been in touch with the community very much because of writing these books. I'm going to be doing so much more videos. I'm going to get on top of things so I can talk with you guys directly on all of these channels. I'm going to do a lot more live hangouts so I make sure I've answered all your questions. But I love this community. You guys have inspired me to keep this up. You guys inspired me to write these books because I know a lot of the advice I give has been making a difference. So I really, really love that we are so supportive of each other. I love that you guys are so nice and friendly. And I honestly, this last year, the whole year, I've been looking forward to being less busy, not so I can go on holiday somewhere, but so I can communicate with you guys again, like the good old days. And so I'm really looking forward to that. So thanks a lot. I'm sorry I didn't get to a lot of your questions. And oh, I met you in a conference, Brandon. Okay. And I'm I'm glad I'm inspiring you guys, and I loved getting to talk to you here today. And thanks again for checking this out. I will see you either in Facebook, or I'll do another one of these live hangouts in a couple of weeks when I've fixed my technology issues. All right. Thanks, everyone. Please share this today. Thank you very much. I will leave this video up on my YouTube channel just for a few hours so people can catch up if they missed it. And then I'll take it off because I don't like having bad quality videos on my channel. But when I do live hangouts that are good quality, I'll actually leave those ones up for people. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Chat to you soon.